I mean, I think it's so many defining moments over the course of the last 3 years with the business, really. We've learnt an awful lot from the process. I think I've had a very long career in franchising, and I've been fortunate enough to work with a lot of very good franchisors. So I've learnt a lot from that process, and I think really for me the key thing over the last 18 months has been putting many of the things that I learnt into practice. Yeah, well, vision's a really important word for us. When we brought our vision to reality with Visiting Angels by recognising what the problems were in our sector and by putting together a business model which specifically addressed that. So we're carer-centric. We've put the caregivers in our business at the heart of what we do. And we're the first franchise brand to do that and to be as open about that as we've been. So that has meant that we've had to think differently. It's definitely meant that we've had to act differently. And that's really been a key part of our success over the course of the last 18 months to 2 years. The vision for the business is that we are carer-centric. Our mission statement is to become the UK care sector's employer of choice. So we want to be the brand that caregivers want to work for, and we want to encourage people to work in the care sector. And that's a key challenge in the care industry, is finding people who want to work in care. So we think about our caregivers differently. I say that we love our carers more than anyone has ever loved a carer. We treat them really well. We say thank you an awful lot. We try and value our caregivers for the excellent work that they do. And that enables our franchisees to be successful because they're able to find care staff when many in the sector are struggling to find care staff. We've grown relatively quickly. I mean, I think the first year was quite a cautious first year. We took it sort of steady. We learned as we went along. So going into the first lockdown, we had 4 franchisees who were active, and we're currently with 20 in the network. So we're growing at about 1 franchisee per month at the moment. I mean, I'm really excited about the next 5 years with the organisation. I think next 5 to 10 years, definitely. We expect to be over 100 franchisees in the UK, and we're also looking at expanding into other European territories as well. So to have master licenses out of the UK into Germany, potentially into Sweden, into Denmark, that's something for us which is very much part of our growth plan. The biggest accomplishment for us as a business in the first few years of franchising has been to take an idea which I think is a very simple idea. To love a carer is a really simple idea, but it's something that the industry doesn't, unfortunately, hasn't approached in the way that we've approached. So I've spent the last 3 years looking over my shoulder nervously thinking eventually other people are going to realise all we're actually doing is being nice to our staff, right? But we've done that, and we've also then rolled that out in a franchise system as well. So that's enabled franchisees to come into our market with that different approach as well. And we spent a lot of time over the course of the last year or 18 months celebrating carers. There was a period of time in Thursday nights, 8 o'clock, clapping for carers, where it looked like everyone in society was starting to appreciate what carers did. But our business model is built around that, and it's been really nice for us to think that we've had a positive impact on the working conditions of some carers. Staff retention is a really important part of our business model. The needs that people have who are receiving care in later life are becoming more complex, and if you've got high staff turnover, it's really difficult to get your staff skilled to a level where they're able to support those needs. So, in our business across the UK, average our staff turnover is 17%, whereas the industry average staff turnover for home care is close to 50%. In some instances, it could be argued is greater than 50%. So we're very proud of the efforts we've put in, not only to recruiting staff, but also to retaining staff. I mean, everybody knows that the biggest challenge for a home care business is to find the staff to be able to provide the service that you need to provide. And we've given ourselves an advantage in that respect. So we pay more than other care providers. We don't have 0-hour contracts. We have guaranteed hours contracts. We guarantee our caregivers pay increases each year. They get their birthday off. We say thank you an awful lot. We run events throughout the year which are a way of us saying thank you to their families as well. So being carer-centric there are some commercial elements to being carer-centric, but most of it is really about us thinking about our carers before we think of ourselves. So as a business, we ask the question, does that improve the life of a carer? And if it doesn't, it's probably not the right thing for us to do. Taking advice when you're starting a franchise, I mean, I've spent 23 years in franchising people. I've been taking advice for most of my career. I've been learning from people, been listening to people. And what I've learned is to make sure that you speak to experts, people that really do know what they're talking about. So we worked very closely with the association when we first started franchising. We've worked with BFA-affiliated solicitors. We've worked with a BFA-affiliated franchise consultant to write our operations manual. We've also worked very closely with HSBC for funding for our franchisees. In addition to that, we've worked with suppliers to the industry, people like RevPR who've helped us to put the business in the right context, the language that we use to describe what we do. So all of this has helped us, I think, to be successful, taking advice from people that really do know what they're talking about. We're not a PLC. And I mean this genuinely. I think, our approach to franchising has been to recognise that most of my franchisees are small family businesses. My business is a small family business. Yes, I'm UK master licensee for an international brand, but I ran it as a franchisee first. So I think I very much identify with my franchisees because I've stood exactly where they stand as well. And it's meant that when we've tested the business, we've tested it with an honest approach. We've looked at it from the perspective of a franchisee. And that's, I think, helped us to be successful.